I grew up with this event, my dad and I. This was like our annual tradition. I was terrified, but I loved every single second of it. Halloween Horror Nights invites our guests to go through our front gate and be transported into a living horror film. We have the amazing task of recreating films and TV shows that people know and love. But we also get to create characters and environments that people haven't seen before.
Being that we're here situated in Hollywood, not only do we get to take advantage of the entire theme park, but the movie studio as well. The Psycho House, the Bates Motel, the plane crash set from War of the Worlds. The most challenging part of Halloween Horror Nights is just the enormousness of this event.
We'll start small. Creators around the table, writing ideas down. We'll do characters, we'll do environments. We'll build our mazes in digital form, and we can literally walk through them. All of that will get collected in a treatment, and we will roll that out to all of the teams within entertainment.
It's written from a guest POV. It's everything I see, hear, smell in some cases. But it also has a very, very detailed technical breakdown of every single element, from scenic construction, props and dressing, makeup, costumes, special effects, and they all have to work together.
A maze is built on cause and effect scenario. We want our guests to feel like they're in control when in fact we have them from the moment they walk into one of these sound stages to the moment that they leave. They're ours. So we're here inside one of the first rooms in our Dead Waters Louisiana Bayou maze. And the facade for this is a sunken riverboat. So the first room, we wanted to keep that illusion going of this maze sinking into the ground. So we built this first room on an angle so that as our guests are walking through, they're off kilter, their equilibrium is messing with them. So they're easy for the scare. Boom, right here, one of our swamp zombies is gonna get them. And as they continue to move forward, they're moving through these curtains, they're encountering all the scenic and decor, and right here, as another one of our swamp zombies comes through. Walking into an environment that you started on paper 12 months earlier and seeing it come to fruition only because of all of the amazing people who put forth the same amount of effort. This collection of parts has come together and is working towards a singular goal.
It's also amazing to see what's happened worldwide. Our parks in Japan, our park in Singapore, they all do Halloween. One thing we've learned about our guests, no matter how scary you make it, they always want it scarier. So we're always trying to one-up ourselves year after year after year to create the best event in the world.
As a set designer, I'm a visual storyteller. It's more than just creating a neat environment. If it's not scary, then we wasted our time. For Halloween Horror Nights, our guests are walking through this environment and able to turn around and look 360 degrees. But there are 30 people jumping out at you.
It's an opportunity for the guests who may have grown up watching these shows and movies to walk into their favorite horror movie or TV show.
It's providing a totally immersive atmosphere for the guests to create that environment that completely overwhelms them.
We start researching, like, the look and the texture and the feel and the kind of atmosphere that we really want to create inside the house. And then we develop a 3D model where we can actually look and see how the actors are going to interact with the space and how the guests are going to interact with the actors.
Once the designs are completed, we start pulling possible furniture and bodies and having discussions with the design group about what different rooms should look like.
Welcome to the Voodoo Shack. A lot of it is based on how do we want the guests to feel? Do we want the guests to feel claustrophobic? Do we want them to feel like they're in a frighteningly empty room? This is Posse, the dead possum. He was my first dead animal. This is a very sad little pig. He has no head. There's little doll heads everywhere because doll heads are very creepy. All of that plays into the type of decor that we put in the room.
You'll notice we have pieces that hang down. And this is kind of a fun technique that we use. This material, we call it SIF. It stands for stuff in face. And it's just one thing that the guests have to kind of push their way through. it kind of makes them have to engage in their environment a little bit too. We're always so blown away when we get to come through the house and see all of the elements working together. It's just so much more amazing than you could even imagine because everyone's added their own special layer. It really does help the story come to life.
The art of the scare is just so important and so difficult to pull off. We have it almost down to a science. Don't forget about it. Forgot about the noise. Let's do that again. That was silly. I'm in charge of all the integration for all the houses. That means lighting, audio, video, special effects, making sure that everything is working together.
We always try and outdo ourselves from the year before. So coming up with those new creative ideas and then actually being able to pull them off in the time frame we have is always an interesting challenge to have.
Happy Halloween.
Writing it all down, drafting the entire houses, putting in the special effects, and then on there we'll make notes on how this is going to control that. And after it controls this, it's got to send a command to this over here.
Just the way computers are these days, we can tie all the disciplines together so we can make this pretty awesome effects, video, lighting, audio sequence.
Some of our houses have up to 25 and 26 different triggers, which means 25 different sounds, 25 different effects, 25 different lighting effects happening simultaneously, completely independent of each other.
We've been able to come up with a couple of really interesting effects over the years. I really enjoy a well-placed water squirt, making it think that they're getting splattered with blood. Sparks are always a fun one. Water, electricity, they don't get along. That's why I enjoy them.
When the house comes together and watching the guests being scared and jumping out of their skin just makes my day.
What other opportunity do you have in a job to actually scare people and not get in trouble for it?
It's a crazy job, but it's a lot of fun.
As a kid, I was obsessed with monster movies. Halloween Horror Nights to me is a chance to live in those monster movies.
The characters are the lifeblood of this event. We can create amazing houses, we can have amazing decor, amazing lights, sounds. Really, the characters are what makes this event come to life.
The costumes and makeup for the Halloween Horror Nights is a pretty big element in the presentation of what we do. It looks like you're in the movie when you're going through the mazes.
When we do our original projects, there's more of a freedom to create characters that can spring from your imagination. I love the detail in costumes, the textures of the fabric. For me, it's always in the details.
For this year's Halloween and every Halloween, we make hundreds of masks. We decide how they're going to be made. He's got barbed wire sticking in her head. Will it be rigid? Will it be soft? Does it have to move? One of our large big boy creatures. They all serve their own purpose.
We see hundreds and hundreds of potential characters that come in here, and we try to cast and fill this huge event. What makes a good character is a personality and what they bring to the cast and what they bring to our story that we're trying to tell.
When I see people screaming and scared, it just thrills my heart. I know that's demented, but there's a great sense of pride.
My favorite part of Halloween Horror Nights is getting to see
One of my favorite Halloween.
One of my favorite.
My favorite months and months.
One of my favorite things about this event is how it has affected people that come to the event. There is a fandom that is a part of Halloween Horror Nights that is no less as passionate as any other like film franchise fan. They're this amazing group of people that have in some cases grown up with the event or are so enthralled with what we're able to do that they have made it a part of their lives.
You spend months and months and months designing all of this, but really the actors are the final ingredient. Once they come onto the set and we start training them, we get to see them bring it all to life, and that's always a lot of fun.
Watching the guest as they would enter the house, seeing their reactions as they walk through, they're able to be a part of movies, be a part of their favorite nightmares.
I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, so the year we actually had the whole park dressed in The Walking Dead was one of my favorite years. You felt like you were really immersed in the show.
And one of my favorite houses of all time was The Thing. Kurt Russell starred in the movie. As a fan, I loved walking through there and seeing such detail, all the way down to the J&D scotch that he drank in the movie.
Seeing people react to those characters and those moments from the movie that they grew up with is something that I'm really excited to see.
Watching the opening scenes at the front gate of the park, seeing thousands and thousands of people rush in to enjoy the event.
Favorite fan experience is actually backstage when we're doing fittings for the performers. They are just crazy horror movie fans and they're really excited to be here, so that kind of makes me happy.
Some of my favorite memories as a character were the things you never expect. Say the guy is 6.5 feet tall, but you never expect him to be using that girlfriend that's 5 feet tall as a shield. A lot of times they like to come through, try to give the girlfriend an extra scare. They'll point towards her, kind of secretly behind them, you know, get her. And as you're coming in to go for the girlfriend, ready the guy. Drop a 6.5 foot guy to the floor. You know, it makes you feel kind of good about yourself.
When I bring groups of friends with me and they are so scared they have to hide behind me, just to see their fear brings joy to me.
My boyfriend and I ended up in the front of the pack, and this particular one had the tunnel herd, and that the way the effect happened, it completely caught me off guard so much that I remember falling and screaming. Oh, it was embarrassing and horrifying.
We'll hide buttons through the park. You know, a little gag that'll squirt water into the park, or a button that'll shoot air to the back of somebody's neck while they're going through the house. And we don't tell people where those are. That's probably my favorite thing, is all the little hidden Easter eggs that we do for the fans, so that the fans can come back and they can look for that stuff.
Halloween Horror Nights is the #1 Halloween event in the country. We see tons of people every year, and our goal is to entertain each and every one of them.
We've got an amazing event that has so much content, and guests come back year after year.
We take enormous pride in the fact that we actually bring these pieces to life.
My favorite part is seeing it all come together, but it is very sad when it's over. But then we get ready for next year.
We never stop working on Halloween Horror Nights. It's a never-ending cycle of horror. We're already talking to filmmakers about the properties we might want to bring to life.
Hopefully the success of this year will open the doors for us to do some even cooler and bigger things next year.